if you're not in an active war zone, I think it can be easy to look at the news or look at the economy or look at different things and tie your worries or fears or anxiety to that. But when I actually talk to people, their biggest anxiety, like after we kind of get past chit chat, their biggest anxieties or fears are usually rooted in something very personal. And so,
Mm.
you know, you have this relationship that's not going as well as you want it to go, or you're kind of struggling to figure out what the next step in your career is, or this pattern or trigger keeps popping up from your past. And I think it can be easy to overlook the very real but seemingly small things. I think maybe we can diminish what our personal, like, more nuanced fears and anxieties are because we feel like they're trivial in comparison to
Mm.
what we see in the news or what we see on social media. And so we ignore the things that would make the biggest difference and just look at the things that are making the most noise.
Yeah. So what you're suggesting is deal with those personal things and the rest will kind of work itself out, perhaps.
I think the personal things is where you will personally see the biggest difference. And I think it will make you feel like you have a bit more autonomy and control over some of the bigger things. But unless it's your life or unless it's your career or what you've chosen to devote your life to, I think it's very difficult to work in reverse. So saying, I'm going to solve all these community issues, or I'm going to solve the war, I'm going to solve politics, I'm going to solve the economy issues. Because realistically, you're not going to go solve the war in the Congo.
Hmm.
Um, well, unless that is what you do for, you know, that's your living, that's your life.
Hmm.
And you know, 99% of people, that's not what you've devoted your life to. And so then you can kind of take it, you bring it closer to home.
Hmm.
Okay, so what does higher gas prices mean? It means like, well, my dollar isn't going to go as far, or my career, I'm going to need to move further in my career so I can make more money, or I'm going to need to be a little bit more frugal in these areas.
Hmm.
And then, okay, so that means maybe I cut out the coffee. Maybe I don't make that purchase. Maybe instead of spending tonight watching the new show, I spend a little bit more time working or figuring out what that next plan is. And then, like, each step you get a lot closer. And then the nice thing is too, once you climb down that ladder, once you find something you can do, you do that, and then you can start climbing back up the ladder. And but I think we start to kind of psych ourselves out and get overwhelmed, and then we don't do anything, or we do things that don't actually solve the things we're worried about.